live on YouTube pretty soon here. The meeting is now streaming live on YouTube. Hey everybody, it's Rich Groves with Metro STL Homes. I'm hosting a simulcast virtual real estate investing virtual networking session tonight with my good friend Chris Monroe. So let's see here. Sorry, I'm fairly new to streaming on YouTube, but hopefully you'll forgive me for that. Let's see, wonder if I can share this out with my friends on Facebook. So anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to talk real estate tonight and all things real estate. How many ever folks join the call can ask questions, can talk to real estate investors, ask questions, share deals. As well. So anyway, sorry, I just trying to integrate that. Just made a post on my Facebook page. I'm going to do the same on the Hootie's House Buyers Club Facebook group. If you're not a member of the Hootie's House Buyers Club Facebook group, go ahead and join us, and you'll get notifications about all of our meetings, our simulcasts, our virtual networking. So there we go. Anyway, sorry, I'm not a pro at this just yet. Hopefully it'll be a lot better here soon, but it's not quite 6 o'clock. Again, I'm Rich Groves with Metro STL Homes, and I run a real estate investment group in more of a real estate investment meetup in the St. Louis area called the Hootie's House Buyers Club. Strictly called that because we meet at a Hooters in downtown St. Louis, and it's a catchy little name, fun little name. So letting folks in. Got an Orlando's back. I remember Orlando from that last time. You're still muted there, buddy.
Boom.
There it is. That's more like it. that's
what's happening? What's happening? What's happening?
That's it. That's it. That's much better than my what's happening, what's happening, what's happening.
What is happening? What is happening? What is happening?
Oh man. Welcome, Chris.
How are you today?
Not bad. How about yourself, bud?
Living the American dream.
Nice. Nice. Orlando's on. Is Orlando showing up on your end?
There's no video, but they are there, and they're muted.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start this live stream over here as well.
Sounds good.
Let's see.
Orlando, you are muted on your mic and no video. Just letting you know in case you may already know, and you're like, I know.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you, Orlando.
All right, great.
How's it going, sir?
It is going pretty good. Busy, but it's going pretty good.
That's a good problem to have, right?
Yes, it is. I can't complain.
I hear you. Every once in a while, I catch myself, right? Whenever somebody and I say, "Oh, busy," and I'm like, this sounded like I was complaining. I better knock that off. I better back that up.
Yeah, because everyone is not busy. So
that's true. That's true.
I thought busy was a good thing.
It is.
I don't like being busy, just being honest with you.
You don't,
right?
I know a lot of people make it seem like, but I mean, I guess it's a double-edged sword. You can claim to want to be busy and, I want this stuff. But, I'm just one of those people. I create things to do. I'm never like bored or like, I ain't got nothing to do. Well, I don't know who to call, or I'm just sitting here waiting on the world to come save me. I got a lot of moving parts at all times. So I never look, when people say, if I say I'm busy, I mean, yeah, I'm busy. And I'm really not looking to be busy. I'd rather have busy for money coming toward me, but me not doing a lot of unnecessary work. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense.
A lot of unnecessary work. You notice what I said?
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of stuff you can, use an app or software or some type of system or something other than just you sweating and breaking your own back for it, if that makes sense.
Absolutely, buddy. Sure does. Sure does. That's the key. That's the I mean, I'm speaking to the choir, but that's that's the difference between an entrepreneurial mindset and just you're working for yourself. You're just you're trading your time for money. Just you're the boss instead of somebody else or that somebody else.
That's right. Like they say right here on Facebook, systems are key. We are streaming live on Facebook, Periscope, Twitch, and in the Woke Real Estate Investing Group. And you got us on something too, right, Rich?
Yeah, we're live on my YouTube channel, Metro STL Homes YouTube channel. But and then I just posted on the Hootie's House Buyers Club Facebook group that we're live with the link to the YouTube channel there. I'm trying, I'm taking baby steps here, Chris.
Hey, what they say, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And if anybody's watching on this live stream and you want to come into the Zoom call, just shoot me a message or Rich a message. We'll send you the link if you don't have it already. You should already be on the list. If you ever want to get on the list to be notified of these streams that we do every other week, 6 o'clock Central Time, where we do this virtual networking, go to what is the site again, Rich?
It's stlviplist.com. You don't have to be in St. Louis. That's just, that's for my, when, I focus on St. Louis, Chris does, whatever, but that's just, I decided to, build the list that way for these things too.
Okay. And say, this is Andy. And if you are watching in the Woke Real Estate Investing Group, look down in the description. There's a link and it just says, give you permission to show your name to the broadcast there and your picture so we can see your face. We can put a face with you, but good to see you. What's up, Lucy? Lucy's in here too on Facebook. So you got all the people in here waking up.
Nice. Nice. That's, you gotta be awake.
Stay woke or wind up broke.
That's so true, man.
Most definitely. So Orlando, what are you working on? You in St. Louis too?
Yes, I am in St. Louis. I'm trying to figure out how to get my camera operating, but I'll figure it out as
You on a phone or a laptop or?
I'm actually on my laptop.
Okay.
I think I have Bit Defender and it's blocking my camera access from Zoom.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
you got it so secure you can't get out.
Dang, man. It's like I heard about these guys. I heard they got need security.
Top flight security.
Yeah, but I am based in St. Louis. I was born and raised in St. Louis. I've lived all over. I've been in real estate for 3 years off and on. Started out wholesaling, stopped for a while. Now I got back into it full time starting post-COVID. I know that may sound crazy, but I actually, when people are being pessimistic, I tend to be optimistic. So yeah, we started wholesaling in May, and then I got my first deal closed the weekend before Father's Day. So that was pretty good and exciting. Made 15 grand JV with someone. So yeah, I had 9, he had 6. Right now we're working on a commercial property mixed use unit. It's commercial / residential. And I have another property in Richmond Heights that I am trying to get closed. So busy, like we said earlier, but it's a good busy.
You got Richmond Heights. They should be fighting over there. They love that area.
Yeah, they are.
What you getting for that? 250? I mean, I know it got to be a good number over there.
Yeah, it's around 210. It's around.
See, I wasn't that far off. I already know you got to bring your good wallet over there.
Yeah. So really, at this point, I'm networking. I'm seeing who's who. I'm seeing who does good business, who's about what they say they're about, and building long relationships. The end goal, honestly, is to build my non-for-profit, to build up the community that I grew up in, get into rental portfolios, and just build a prosperous network within the St. Louis community. So
awesome.
So you say you've been doing it for how long now?
Off and on for 3 years. My first deal I did 3 years ago. And then I ran into some personal issues, so I had to slow down. Then I just got back this May. This year, opened up a little LLC, me and my wife, and hit the ground running. Got my systems, got my tools, PropStream, Podio, call tools, and I every day I make my calls every day. I walkthroughs every day. Went to a Faster House meeting a couple weeks ago to network. Seen Rich Groves on Facebook. I said, hey, he's got a networking, platform. I'll join it, and talk to a couple other moguls in St. Louis. So really just trying to build my foundation and seeing who's who's the movers, who's the shakers. You got a lot of people who say, hey, I'm interested, and shoot me your property, and they never get back with you. So, so I'm just kind of, I don't take it personal. It's just letting me know, hey, they're about business, or hey, they're not, or, it's just part of the business. So still learning, still got a lot to learn. So I'm looking forward to learning as much as I can from each networking event, each deal.
So you said you got out between after a little while. What made you want to come back?
Well, it's challenging. I like the challenge. I enjoy challenges. Golf is challenging. Chess is challenging. Those are some of my hobbies. Real estate is challenging as well, but I think it's something that's obtainable. It's something that once you get the experience, you can learn. Of course, the money is good. I enjoy the money, but I enjoy people. And honestly, when it's all said and done, I enjoy helping people. So wholesaling, I really find myself helping people out of those distress moments. Even if it's me moving them out of their home, praying with them, bringing them a card. Maybe someone, recently died in their family. So really, of course, I get up, I want to support my family, feed my family. But if I don't make, anything on the deal, I know that I went in there with a genuine heart. So it'll all come back full circle.
So you going straight service, huh? Service oriented.
Service. I love. I honestly, I think the more genuine you are, the better response you'll get from people. As long as you're honest and you let them know, hey, what you're doing, I think you get a better response out of people. So I'm still trying to work this camera out. I'm still trying to work it out. I'll get it.
They don't want you to be great. Mine was fuzzy when I first came in. I had to go out and come back in.
Yeah, right. I just gotta click some buttons, and so.
What's this?
Right, it can be something that simple, a little smudge on my camera.
Orlando, you got to take that piece of black tape off the camera. That extra security of the electric tape, that you
put That's what Mark Zuckerberg did on that picture.
I think
he even know the cut. That's why you see my camera like this.
Right.
My camera ain't that. All you gonna see is a ceiling fan. You hack mine. I turn that bad boy up. You can see the fan that ain't been on in forever. I'm
gonna sit here and wait and see if he turns it on.
Exactly.
As a matter of fact, I'm gonna leave and then I'm gonna come right back because I just turned off the block, and then I'll be right back.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good.
So, like I said, anybody else that do want to jump into this Zoom call or anything, make sure you go ahead and either shoot me or Rich a message on Facebook, and we can send you the link if that's easier.
Yep. And we'd love to see more faces on here. Don't be shy. If you no judging. I mean, if I can come out here looking like this, you can come on out here.
Exactly.
Somebody saying I don't have my hair done, or I don't have my makeup on, or my hair combed. Who cares? We're just here to talk.
Exactly. They're like, oh, I gotta have it just right.
Right. No.
Now, what just happened here? Something happened to knock me off the screen. Was it something I did?
Let me check. Let me see. You're still on my YouTube, but I'm obviously a couple seconds behind. I'm gonna wave my hand just so I know how far behind I am.
It took me off when he went off, but I don't know.
Really? Interesting. Yeah. I mean, you're still on the Zoom that I can see. It seems like you're still on the YouTube that I can see. Well, that's it's been since he's been off, but
oh well.
Let's see if
I guess he'll pop back on and it might just click back on by itself. So
are you off? Are you off on your?
No, everything else is good. It's Zoom. Something Zoom did.
Huh.
Zoom.
Yeah. Hey, so we got, yeah, so I was just mentioning, so I'll, people are watching, that we also do, the Hootie's House Buyers Club has its own monthly meeting coming up the first Tuesday of August, but we're not going to do it live and in person again with the latest spike of COVID. We're going to wait again. We'll see what it looks like for September. So we'll do it again, 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. on Tuesday, August 4th, I believe that is. So first Tuesday, if anybody wants to join us then, it's during the day, but we'd love to have you. But yeah, so we'd love to have you. I mean, come on out, share any deals you've gotten done, any lessons you've learned, any mistakes you've made, and you want to share it so nobody else makes those kind of mistakes. Or I hate calling mistakes. I do like calling them lessons learned.
Lessons learned. I know we just finished up a little deal here. You want to share with everybody some of the fiasco we've been working on?
It looks a little bit like this. No, I'm joking.
It's about as raggedy, no, but
I know, man. That was so crazy. I mean, Chris was kind enough to reach out to me and thoughtful enough to reach out to me. Got a deal over on. It's technically called Washington Park in Illinois, but it's in East St. Louis, but it's a section of East St. Louis called Washington Park. And so Chris called out and reached out to me and asked if I do have buyers over there, if I do deals in East St. Louis. And I'll be honest, I just don't. Here's Orlando coming back in. So I don't, only because I don't have any buyers over there. So I've never really chased. I mean, I've had a few leads here and there. There's Orlando. What's going on?
He
buddy?
back,
Now
but
you're
he muted.
Now you're
muted, but he back.
There you
There
go.
we go. Are we good now?
There he is. We
Oh,
are
that's
good.
good.
We are good.
Good.
I was just sharing a deal Chris and I just did together in East St. Louis, Washington Park.
Okay.
And Chris reached out to me because I've done most of my deals, not all of them, but most of my deals in Illinois. So Chris reached out to me and asked if I had done anything in East St. Louis, had any buyers over there, because he thought he had a pretty decent deal, and on paper he does. So we marketed, we did a JV, we marketed the crud out of it, got a few buyers over there on a couple days where it was like, well, I'm going to be here at this time. So I tried lining them up, come every 15 minutes, and we'd have some people not show up and show up. Anyway, we got this one lady from California come in town and was like, I want this house. Here it is. It was agreeable. Chris and I, both agreed that the price was decent. And, we tried contacting the seller to get things done. He's like, nope, I want more money.
Wow.
So the seller tried to back out of the deal after rushing us. Now this person beat us up about, I want to sell this house. I want to close this house. I want to get it done. I need to sell it. I'm motivated, right? Came off our website. We really want to sell. We get him under contract same day. He's bugging us for the first 3 days, maybe 6-7 days into it. All right, we ready to close this week. He's like, I want more money.
Did you have him under contract already?
Under contract already.
And this was after the fact, like he brought, the first couple times we went over there, he wouldn't show the basement. He would not show the basement. Like, I got a dog down there. I can't show the basement, whatever. So finally this lady showed up. She was adamant. She's like, look, I am very interested. I haven't seen anything that's made me scared off. I'm very interested, but I've got to see the basement. So we get in the basement. There's charred joists from a fire in the basement. So we're thinking, oh, geez. And she's already thinking, oh, man, somebody's been down here cooking meth or something.
Right.
Or and then the furnace is shot. And he replaced all the, he was in the middle of rehabbing when I recalled Chris, but one of the plumbing lines, one of the T's wasn't put on right. So there's just water spraying out of it. And he's like, I'll get that fixed. And if you want, I'll hook up the furnace from upstairs. And we're like, all right, cool. And I was actually going to pay him to do that part out of my cut. I was like, go ahead. If we get the deal done, you go ahead and do it. I'll take it out of my cut. And so when I reached out to him and said, yeah, we got to do it. We want to close. And I said, but you don't even have to hook up the furnace. He's like, you guys got to pay for it. I was like, wait, what? So he wanted more money. He wanted more money for the furnace that he was already including in the deal. Then he wanted more money altogether. And finally, so Chris called him, talked to him, he's, what was he kept telling you, Chris? You were talking to him like
you can't talk to me like no kid. Y'all trying to get my house for this. I'm like, I said, but you signed a contract, say you're willing to sell your house for X number of dollars. We're willing to buy it. He said, I asked him, so why did you decide to sell the property? And actually, if you want to see the full conversation, it's on my Instagram page. I actually recorded the whole phone call on on a live stream at Chris Monroe STL on Instagram. If you want to go get the full story on how this dude was talking crazy. Oh yeah, I ain't selling it. And all that. I'm like, well, why would you sign a contract? He told me, well, I was just gonna see what y'all was gonna do. Why would we sign a contract to say we're gonna buy it if we ain't gonna close?
Exactly.
You say now it's up for bid. Whoever comes in with the highest bid, he's like, what are you talking about bid? We got a contract.
So what ended up happening?
Well, I ended up, Chris asked me, I said, hey, maybe he likes you, give him a call. So I gave him a call and I negotiated with him a little bit. I didn't really want to, but I was like, you know what, we could still make a little bit of money on this, save the deal, get this lady from California into this house she wants real bad. And I talked to him, we negotiated. It was still okay. So we were going to do it. And they were going to do quick claim deed instead of a general warranty deed to save him some money on his end of the closing costs. And he was okay with that. So I was drawing up the quick claim deed, and I researched the title, and I saw in the county records it was both him and his dad on the title. So I just reached out to him and said, hey, is this right? Am I reading it right? Is it both you and your dad, or is it maybe just a mistype? Some county workers, you never know.
Yep.
So he's like, yeah, that's my dad, and he's not going to sell. I was like, what? So now after all that, he's like, yeah, my dad's not going to sign. He said he's not giving away a house for 31. We ended up negotiating up from 2,000 to 31. And he's like, no,
because he said I'm respecting my dad's wishes, and he don't want to sign nothing. And I'm like, so how you can't sell a house? You can't sell it if you and your dad own it, which we didn't know because they got the same name. It was senior and junior. So looking at it, you would have never knew until it was time to do business.
Right.
Yeah, so he was really a headache, from the very beginning, a pain in the butt. He tried to, rush us to buy it. We get ready to close. He started backing out. Oh, I need more money. Then he backed out again. Oh no, I need this. Oh no, I want that. He just all over the place. And then what did he do at the end, Rich? He come back and say what?
Yep. He's like, he called me literally. He called me and said, hey, if you and Chris want that house, you guys can have it. This was a couple of days later. We had already found another house for this lady and got her into a different house and got the deal closed. And he calls and says, hey, if you guys want that house, you can have it. I think I was driving home from that money, or maybe it was the next day. I was like, no, it's all right. We're going to pass. He's like, what? He thought we were going to be like, all right, cool. Yeah, let's do it. Like the house was worth that much. It needed more work than he originally told us it was going to need. It wasn't worth it, literally. I mean, at the numbers, even that 3,100 we negotiated probably wasn't worth it at that point. But yeah, for somebody that wanted to live in it and fix it up, yeah, it'd be great. Or rental.
So we had to do a little bit of good cop, bad cop, and all the other cops in between. But he was really a headache.
Yeah.
Just to find out he can't sell it no way. It's his daddy on it. If his daddy refused, the thing is done anyway. Period.
Right.
Yeah. So it just really made it hard, but it's part of life. It's some of the things you have to learn as you go through. Title issues can always come up. Yep. It's really nothing you can do about it. You won't know until you start digging and start researching, and you'll find out that hey, they got problems, more problems than they told you. They always got some problems.
Yeah.
But he got more problems.
Oh yeah, and I think what he didn't realize is that by going the route of the quitclaim deed, which I normally don't even do quitclaim deeds, but by going the route of quitclaim deed, because it had just gotten purchased from a tax sale in January, but he had owned it for 7 months. So if we'd have gone general warranty deed and he'd have gone to closing, even the contract said he was responsible for his side of the closing. He was going to have to pay his side of the closing costs plus the prorated taxes. So he would have probably come out of that $2,000. He might have come out with $500.
Bucks, exactly.
He never. I don't know, but maybe 1,000, whatever.
Taxes that high over there? See, that's why I just do Missouri side.
I know, it's ridiculous. You got to add that extra step. You got to add into Illinois deals.
Add up some more money. So yeah, but in the end, though, at least we got somewhere for the the young lady who needed a property. So we did help at least a buyer find a house because Rich had another property where tell them how that went, Rich. What was going on with that?
I mean, literally, like while we were in negotiations, with this guy, or getting people over to go look at the house. An old seller that had been reaching out to me for a while reached back out to me after a deal fell through and it couldn't, it just wasn't going to work. It's been about a year. He reached out to me and said, "Hey, would you be interested in trying to find me a buyer?" Because he knew I was looking for investor partners or buyers and buyers. He's like, "Can you find somebody for this house?" It's like, I can give it another try. He had dropped the price like $2,000, and he had done a bunch more work to the house himself while he was fixing it up in that year. So I was like, well, it actually might work. Let me check it out. So I had just put it under contract 3 days before this fell apart, or 2 days. And then we finally got the girl in there and closed it, total of 4 days after I had just gotten this one under contract.
Wow.
It was triple the money, I think. Yeah, roughly. Not quite triple the money she was going to pay for the other house, but yeah, that's cool.
So we had to create a creative deal just to make that deal work as well. So, the creative real estate is life-changing. Everybody, they say, oh, I got to beat them up and get them down to $2 for the price. Not all the time. If you can work to structure a deal, you can get people usually the price they want if they're willing to take some type of creative payments over time.
Right. Yeah. Because literally, it was a weird situation because this gal that we sold it to, doesn't deal with banks at all. She does everything in cash. And she only had her $5,000 or whatever it was that she was going to pay for the East St. Louis house with her. So she had her guys bringing cash with her from California already on the road. They were already on the road heading to St. Louis, to get this deal done. And then she says, "Oh, wait, we're not buying that $5,000 house. We're buying a $14,000 house." And so the only way they can get it done is if we could do it on terms. They paid Chris and I our fee up front, and then they paid a little bit down, and then they're going to make 2 payments by the end of the year to pay the whole thing off. But the seller, and that's the thing, a lot of people don't realize, you can't think with your mindset what the seller is going to do. You can't. All you can do is present to the seller an offer, right? I mean, this guy, because he'd been sitting on it for a year, he was just excited. And originally when I first dealt with him, he's like, "Look, I've had a couple of people wanting to do like lease options or rent to own or something. And I don't want to deal with that." So when I reached out to him, I said, "Look, I know you said you didn't really want to deal with this, but this is going to be super short term. We're going to get it completely closed by the end of the year. We'll give you like 3 up front. We'll give you $5,500 on 2 payments, and it'll be all paid off." And he said, "Let's get it done." Literally, he jumped out of the phone almost like, "Okay, let's do it. Where do I sign?"
Wow.
Exactly. Especially if they're getting some money right now and some money in the next couple of months. The house is sold and you don't have to deal with it anymore. Cutting the grass, maintenance on it, insurance, taxes, all that stuff that comes with home ownership, because people don't realize home ownership, you have to be a responsible person. It's just not for everybody. Some people should just go rent. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're going to take on a home or multiple homes like I have, it takes some responsibility. You got to have some, structures and some systems in place. Wouldn't you agree, Rich?
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And he, just, not to keep beating on it, but he was from Granite City. That's where he lives. He lives in Granite City, and this rental property was in Cahokia, or this property's in Cahokia. So he's driving to Cahokia from Granite City once a week, cutting grass, checking on things, working on stuff. I mean, that whenever he decided to work on stuff, he'd drive from Granite City to Cahokia, or he worked out in St. Peters. So he's coming home from St. Peters to Cahokia to work on something over the night or whatever. So that's just long. Those are long days, long hours, long trips. I mean, it wears on you. And if you don't know that, if you don't uncover, like, what do you call it, Chris? Uncover their pain?
Pain points.
You got to get those pain points. That's right. You got to understand. First, you got to identify all of their pain points. Because if you don't first identify and present a solution or have some type of solution, the numbers don't matter no way. Numbers are just made up anyway. People don't realize that all this crap made up. Somebody made up a price because it's relative to what we think that something's worth. It's just a number that's made up. And, if we don't identify and solve the pain for that person, it don't even matter.
So true. So true. Looks like I's in. A, or I? A, dang it, I goofed it up. I even asked you last time, is it A or I? A?
For Ayla.
Ayla.
I'm just always in a million calls. That's why I never have my camera on.
Man, you are going. What's going on?
Nothing. What's up?
Not much. We're just sharing.
Sharon is caring.
Sharon is caring.
That's right. That's right.
You have a smaller group today.
Yeah. So far, hopefully folks will pop in.
I just sent the link over. I know a couple people hit me in the inbox and said, "What's the link?" And I sent.
I didn't know my password to log in, so I had to.
Man,
Sent it to Mercedes.
You have a
Let's see.
secure group on here.
oh, is that right?
Yeah, log in.
Kelly. I sent it over to a couple people, so I don't know. I guess they'll
Nice.
hop in.
Hopefully they come in. It's always fun when there's more folks just talk around, but it's okay when it's a quaint small group. You know,
Yeah.
it's all right.
So, Rich, I got a question for you.
Okay, yes, sir.
What strategy would you call that for the last property that you were just talking about?
You know, I mean, we ended up doing a contract for deed. You know, it was a contract for deed where we just so the part about that was, you know, we had them fill out. They filled out the contract for deed itself, which spelled out what the payment terms were going to be.
Okay.
And we literally, I mean, because of that weird situation, I was looking for a mobile notary and found out, and that was actually, I uncovered something I didn't know. I did not know UPS stores housed notaries. So I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. I never knew that. So we decided just to meet at a UPS store that was open. And the tricky thing with there and why I needed a mobile notary was because he usually gets off a little later, like 5:30. By the time he got back to St. Louis from St. Peter's, it would be 6:30, whatever, depending on traffic. I guess these days not too bad, but so nobody was, even mobile notaries, most of them were like, no, I'm done at 5 or whatever. I had a few that
What kind of crap is that? How they gonna be done at 5 regular hours? How you gonna get that?
I was like, well, what's the point? But a couple guys were like, yeah, I do them late, but I'm not available till tomorrow or whatever. But so we got the contract for deed notarized, and then the buyer took it up to the courthouse to record it. Otherwise, it's really null and void, right? If you don't record that, seller could come back and say, no, this is my house. You never gave me anything or whatever. Right? But, so he took it to the courthouse, get a to get recorded. And then they'll actually close with a general warranty deed when they're ready for that second payment. So it's spelled out, that $5,500 is due on or before December 31st. But if they're ready like November 1st, they can contact the title company that's already actually started title work on this property for me. They can call them up, say, hey, we're ready to close, because they already told me, hey, when they're ready, we're ready. So I gave them the title company's information and said, here you go. When you're ready to do the deal, close it. So they'll have, go through a general warranty deed, standard regular closing at the end when they make that second payment.
Okay.
Yep, just another creative strategy. You can buy these houses a lot of ways. Wholesaling is just very scratching the surface barely. You ain't even scratched the surface yet. You're about to scratch the surface. That's how much stuff this rabbit hole goes so deep.
And admittedly, that's, I mean, if you want to call it strength, wholesaling has been my strength. That's been the thing I've been focused on. I've been low-hanging fruit, I guess is what you can call it, right? But learning some creative stuff and then talking with Chris and things, there's so much more out there, and I'm excited to do more of it.
Yeah, because I mean, like you said earlier, it's all about what that seller's willing to do. And we ask every seller that comes in our pipeline, would you consider taking a monthly payment until we paid you off in full? They're either going to say yes, no, or what the heck is that? That's all they're going to say.
Right.
It's just a question. Some people say, sure, I consider that, because they'll get a higher price. You want this low ball offer wholesale price? Sure. But if you don't want to take that, take these terms. We can still make a deal happen and relieve and solve your pain point or your problem, versus just trying to beat up people all the time and get it for 2 cents.
At the very least, if you can get the seller to say something, ask a question or tell me more, at least then, hey, the door's cracked open a little bit. They didn't completely slam in your face, so they can at least be open to hear about it a little bit more. You have a shot.
Yeah, and these creative strategies work well for especially like expired listings and things like that. We buy a lot of houses that already been on the MLS and failed miserably because they were asking some number that nobody wanted to pay. We might pay something close to that if you do these terms, but nobody never presented that to them. They just assumed that, oh, well, some investor will get it. Yeah, we'll take it for $5. I'll take almost any house for $5. Almost was the key.
Hey, I'll take that one for
$5. and I put it right back out on terms at $2,000.
That's right.
Like I just said, the numbers are made up, and that's what when you realize how serious this stuff is, it's crazy.
That's very true.
creating equity out of thin air. You know, every one of those deals that I get like that, I sell them for more than they'll ever sell on the MLS anyway.
Yeah.
We usually get a down payment. We usually get monthly payments, and we don't have to do any maintenance repairs, dealing with tenants, toilets, termites, trouble, or any of the other stuff that go along with home ownership.
That's right.
And everybody's happy. So that's what it's all about, solving the problem, regardless of what's in it for me all the time. How can I beat them up and get it for $2? That's not always the answer.
Yep.
Because there's a lot of homeowners out here that I found that don't even care about money. They just don't care. They don't want to deal with that house. It ain't even about the money. Their money is long, or they got inheritance, or they inherited the property. They just don't want to deal with the house. The house is the problem, not the money and all that other stuff.
Yep. They got the headache. They're the ones that got burdened with having to divide up mom and dad's, estate or whatever, and they don't want to. They live in Montana, whatever it is,
Right.
Exactly.
Ms. Melendez, what's been keeping you so busy?
I am sending out a property right now.
Oh, right now.
I'm still listening to you. Yeah, I'm still
That's awesome. No, I wasn't calling you out. I'm sorry. Like, look at her. She looks like she's typing. Let's bother her. No, I'm not. I didn't mean it like that.
Oh, you're
Sorry
fine.
about that.
You're fine.
Awesome. Hey, get at it. Get at it. Seriously.
Get that money.
What the outcome is. Hello, Ms. Creasy. How are you? Kathy? Can you hear us?
Oh, they're probably muted.
Uh-oh.
Kathy's husband.
Oh, and that's
Probably.
I missed that. Yeah. I didn't mean to insult anybody.
You got to unmute whoever that is that just came in down there.
It looks like there. Is that Kathy? There you go. Can you hear us? I think she's on her phone.
And if anybody else wants the link to join into the Zoom call, just shoot me a message on Facebook or shoot Rich a message. I'll send you the link. I meant to put it into the description of the Facebook group, but I didn't do it this time.
Oh, the link for getting in?
Yeah.
Once bitten, twice shy, so I didn't.
Right. Well, I put it in the Facebook group, but see, that other one that's like out on YouTube, so anybody just just random people. Because we are streaming live on YouTube, Periscope, and on Twitch and Facebook Live. Let me see. Somebody's saying something.
Mr. Creasy there. Can you hear us? How you can hear us? Okay, I'm going to ask you to unmute it. Can you unmute your phone, your side?
There it is.
There you go.
Hi, guys.
How you doing, sir?
Doing well.
Good.
Sorry, a little late, but
that's the cool thing about this. This is fluid. It's, people come in, they come out. It's like a revolving door,
okay.
If you got 5 minutes, hang out with us for 5 minutes. If you got an hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever it is, hang out with us that long, whatever.
Okay. All right.
Cool, right?
So what is it that you do?
Well, we're just starting to get into the real estate part of it. Wife got laid off with the COVID deal. She works at a hospital, and we're taking this opportunity to try something we haven't tried in a while. My son does it, and he's pretty successful with it. So we thought we'd give it a try.
Awesome.
What market are you in?
Well, we're trying to wholesale properties right now. We're in the St. Louis market because the Illinois market seems to be so tough. I'm having trouble with lenders and everything to get in that. So now my son, he does a lot of the North County stuff. South County, I know, is kind of tough because there seems like a lot of competition there. But it seems like there's a lot of buyers out there now. And I guess he got on the tail end of a lot of the foreclosures, which was good for him. So, we're just trying to figure out what might work.
Dip the big toe in the water and see how it feels.
Yeah. I'm not afraid of that. I've went risky before, but the real estate is a good way to make money.
I know that's right. And what was your name again?
Mark Creasy.
Mark. I know it says Kathy on there, so I say I know that's not Kathy. So Kathy just unmuted it for us, right?
Yeah.
Kathy got all that technology figured out, right?
Well,
Mark?
this is her phone. It's an Apple, and I'm an Android dude, so I just don't do well with the Apples. So
Team Android. Roo, roo, roo,
Mark
roo.
actually,
really.
now that I remember, Mark actually worked with my dad back in the day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'll tell you a funny story one of these days. It's
Oh.
kind of long, but man, we were freezing working, and Cyril was just killing us, man, just killing us.
I'd love to hear it someday. But yeah, seeing Kathy there threw me off. But then as soon as you said Mark, I was like, oh yeah, duh.
Yeah.
That's right.
So what did I come in on? What were we talking about?
We were just sharing a couple of funny deals. Or yeah, I mean, I guess it was really 2 deals in one, right, Chris? Chris and I
Yeah, we had a deal that was started out as a wholesale deal. The seller ended up backing out, flaking out, being crazy. But we had a buyer already locked in to buy the house. So we ended up shifting her over to another house and created another deal on a creative strategy with the same buyer and ditched the seller because the seller ditched us.
And then the
So we
seller
solved
called
the
us
problem
back.
for somebody at least.
Then the seller called us back a couple days later saying, hey, if you want the house, you can have it. We're like,
Yeah, oh, great.
yeah, we're like, we're good. We're good. It's all right. Thanks.
Yeah, that'll teach them.
Yeah.
They'll be back eventually begging because it's kind of hard to do those houses, you know.
I think that price keeps going down lower and lower, doesn't it, Chris? Every
That's
day?
right. You mess around with me, my price go down. I mean, you got the best offer I was gonna get the first time.
That's right. Absolutely right. Absolutely.
I know
So,
that's right. So what
you
kind of
got-
marketing are you doing to attract your motivated sellers, Mark?
We're just starting to get into the marketing aspect. You know, we've got to find. I've got 4 properties in Illinois I'm going to sell, and we're moving to Missouri, and because Illinois isn't that friendly, we're going to work mostly in Missouri. So I've got 4 properties. I'm kind of trying to get rid of those right now. Working on a deal right now before I got on with you guys, and so we're trying to buy a house in Missouri right now and a house in Illinois, just to flip. But ideally, I'd rather be a wholesaler than have to do all of the rehabs.
So you said you're looking to buy over here in the St. Louis area. What part of town?
Well, I mean, we have some good buyers that we can sell to. So as far as I can buy just about anywhere on the St. Louis County and into St. Charles County. That's where they want us to be. So we have some good buyers there. Like I said, I just haven't been able to find the right houses.
Because you know you got a bunch of wholesalers on here. We got deals under contract right now.
Right now.
What you talking about? You looking to buy?
Hey.
I got at least 7 deals under contract right now at all times.
Hey.
Nice. Okay, that's good. I mean, that's why I'm connecting with you guys, because what I've seen in this business, and like most businesses, is having good connections. If you have good connections and good working habits, you're gonna be successful. But you got to know the right people, and you got to get those deals before other people do.
Right.
So
That's
what I'm
true.
seeing.
And what did you say you had available, Orlando? You said you had a couple of deals.
I got a mixed unit, commercial / residential. It's off of Gravois and Loughborough. It's right across the street from a Quick Trip.
Oh yeah. No
That's the
kidding.
barbershop. The
I know
barbershop.
exactly what you're talking about.
You know exactly what I'm talking
My
about?
brother used to live on Kings Highway right there off of the Gravois and Loughborough. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I have a
Matter of
property
fact,
right
still-
over there.
Yeah, he has a rental there too. I mean, he lived there and then he moved and kept it as a rental.
Yeah.
I looked at 2 houses. About 3 miles from there last week, and the one was on MLS already, but it was cheap enough, man. It went the same day. I told my wife, I said, we ought to buy this one, and we didn't. And it was one day on MLS. And then we looked at one that was private by owner. They had their window they had their sign in the window, and it had been a house that their mother and father had, and nobody's been in it for like 10 years. It's been vandalized. Honest to goodness, the house, I don't even know if you could pay $1,000 for it and come out. It had everything just tore to pieces. Still had the old shingles on the outside that were the asbestos. So, I don't know if you can even do that. I don't even know if you can put siding over that stuff. I think you have to take it off and get it thrown away, don't you? Or not thrown away, but
Depends if it's disturbed. If it's like cracked and stuff, yeah, you gotta have those taken out professionally.
Yeah.
But if they're not disturbed, it's my understanding. I don't. Again, you might talk to a professional, but it's my understanding that you can put it over the top of it. But I don't know.
everything in this house was disturbed.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I don't know what you could do with it.
And
But
what
at
area
any
you
rate,
say it's in?
which area?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the name of the street. It won't come to me right now because I'm trying to think of it.
It wasn't a
But,
North
state
County,
street.
South County?
Huh?
Go ahead, Chris.
Is it North County, South County, or is it in St. Louis? Where is
It was it was about a block and a half from Bevo Mill.
Oh, $1,000, I'll buy it.
Well,
Yeah.
the guy's wanting 15,000 for it. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, all
But
right.
I don't even know if you could give 1,000 for it.
I'd give 1,000 for it, and I don't even need to see
We'll
it.
find somebody.
I know.
Yeah.
I will close
I
on it.
I got you. I'm with you.
It
No,
could
what
be.
he was asking for was just a whole lot of money for what was left,
Hmm.
But the other house that we passed on was 29, and we should have bought it because it would have been an easy flip. And the comps supported about 65, 70,000 there. We probably should have done it, but we just got in a little bit late on that one. So
Timing is everything.
yeah,
Yeah, it is.
So Orlando, that mixed use building, was it a barber or some kind of license place or something like that? Or is it right next to that? Or a like an attorney or something, some kind of like traffic law center or something?
I think so, but there's been so many new businesses in that area. They have like a CBD store
yeah.
right next to it.
That's right.
But I mean, the location is
If it's Quick Trip across the street, what else you need to know? That's like
Right,
saying
that's it.
Walmart right there.
exactly.
that's a good area, isn't it? I
Hell
mean,
yeah.
basically,
Yeah,
there's
it's not bad.
yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah. We the guy actually had it on the MLS for like 405.
Oh yeah,
And
that's
then
high. Ain't it? Ooh.
yeah, but then he dropped it to 305.
Oh, geez.
So then we got it actually lower than that. So
Nice.
the only thing
Is it a big amount of space, or is it just like a little section of that big building over there?
no, it's two buildings. It's actually 2 in 1. So the address is 619 621
Hmm.
Gravois. Upstairs there's 3 apartment buildings, and downstairs there's 2 commercial spaces, and one is completely rehabbed. The property's been in this family for 40 plus years, and he's just under it right now. COVID kind of hit him at a bad point, so he really just want to get from up under it. And I called him, reached out to him, got it at a good price. The only thing is me finding comps for a property of a mixed use of a
Yeah.
commercial building. So I couldn't really find any. So now I'm trying to partner with a realtor, with a commercial realtor, to see if we can put it back on the MLS at a good price point. I mean, he still has rehab material in the property that he doesn't care about. So our strategy is to kind of use everything that we have in the property, as well as the potential, as well as the location, to sell it to an investor. And we just got to find that investor who will fit that criteria for that property. Honestly.
Do you know the rent, like what the rents are and stuff? Because I was just saying, if it's harder to find comps, maybe you can go the return on investment, or the cap rate, route.
Right, and that's the direction that we're trying to go in as well. We're getting the rent roll, we're getting possible grants in the area that he can use for the property, for commercial properties. We're trying to bring every benefit that we can for that area to market it to an investor, to say, hey, all of this is included, this is the potential, and we're going to use the mess out of Quick Trip.
Sure. Oh, heck yeah.
And the reason I was asking that is because Quick Trip is known about the building across the street, right? They come over there, knock it down, and put their gas station right there. They might be your buyer.
Huh. I didn't think about that.
They just did the same thing in South County at Bayless and Lee May Ferry. They knocked that stuff down and built a brand new one right across the street. They did it in a couple of places, I think. They might be your buyer.
And that particular gas station you're talking about was a gold mine for 25 years.
Hell yeah, I wish I'd have got in on it back in the 90s or whenever they came out.
they had to. I don't know why they had to build a new one. Maybe QT made them build a new one, but that's a lot of money.
It is.
Yeah.
And
They
it's
got money to
still,
blow. They make too much money. They got to spend it.
and it's still the old model. So that, like Chris said, that store is still their old model. They may be looking for some like right across the street to build the new model.
Yeah, knock that building down. They don't care about all that cap rate stuff. Knock it down, build that gas station right across the street. That might be your buy. If it's big enough. That's why I asked about space.
That's a good point.
Right. It's I think it's a little bit under 4,000 square feet.
Because I'm just now starting to dibble and dabble more in the commercial. I just happen to have 3 commercial deals under contract.
Okay. So how are you dealing with the commercial side of it?
So one of them we're probably gonna be closing this week. I structured it to where we're gonna sell it on terms. I structured it for the buyer and the seller, and I just put it in for me to get a marketing fee. Because I wasn't gonna buy it. I mean, I could have bought it and did it and let me stay in the deal, but with the way this lady was, I said I'd rather just get out and just let them deal with each other for the little year and a half.
Okay.
Because if I get in it, I want to stay in it long term. I don't want to be in for a year and a half. I want to be in 30 years if you let me. That's how you get rich in this game.
Exactly. And that's why I wanted to build that rental portfolio. Me and my wife was talking about it. The potential the property has so much potential in the location. And we were thinking like, man, maybe we should keep it for ourselves and, find, some renters and maybe cash flow in 2 or 3 years. And, but honestly, at this point with me being so new in real estate, I don't want to get in over my head. I would rather learn in other avenues and,
would that seller finance it to
you? That's something that I haven't thought about, honestly.
And see, that's why, and like you were just saying a second ago about looking at all aspects. That's the way I see every deal. I know nothing. I just know to ask good questions, see what they're willing to do, and see if we can work something out from there. Because that might be your investment property. He'll finance you. You just do the stuff for it. You don't have to front all that money. You might have to put something into it to fix it up or whatever, but you rather learn on somebody else's money than your own.
Right. Right. And that's I know there's so many different strategies and thought processes that you can use for these properties. At the same time, I'm in it for the long haul, so I don't have to learn everything at once, but I am a quick learner. So even by listening to you, Chris, it had me, I'm taking notes. I'm like, wow, okay, what strategy was that? Down payment terms and
I live in the creative space, man. That's the world I live in. I'd be like, how can I create a deal? How can I stay in the deal? Matter of fact, I don't even want to wholesale nothing. People ask me all the time, do you wholesale subject to? Why would I wholesale when I can make way more money, get a big old check, stay in a deal and never get out of it and get a check every month? I got a house right now that's been paying me for almost 2 years that I have $0 in. I could have wholesaled that deal and I would have had a check and been done with it. But this house been paying me cash flow every month since December of 2018. What if you had like 20 of those? What if you had about 50 of those? You'd be out of work.
Exactly. Now I'll still be working, but I'll just be using it to get even more deals.
But I'm saying you don't have, what I'm saying, you wouldn't be on the grind of work. You would be getting money for just, making money in your sleep.
There's that freedom, that freedom of, people talk about the freedom, real estate give you freedom and you quit your job and whatever. That's one part of freedom it can bring, but it also can bring you the freedom. And I don't mean this in a negative way, but there's a certain kind of freedom of working your job knowing you don't need your job.
Exactly.
And I don't mean that in saying, so it means you don't care about I don't mean that. I'm just saying, but there's that mindset, that, what, if I lost my job tomorrow or if I got fired or whatever it is, okay, big deal, and that's the part of freedom too, right? So.
Exactly. You got to do it. I got 12 streams of income plus 10 houses. So all of them income streams come in whether I go to work or not.
Wow.
So that's what you want to have, money coming to you. You want to wake up and say, oh, wow, an extra $500. Oh, wow, an extra $2,000. Oh, wow, however much just came in today and I didn't do nothing for it. And let me let you know a secret. You ready for it?
I'm ready.
It's okay to be paid for doing nothing.
What?
It's okay to be paid for doing nothing. It's okay. I just got to let you know that. Everybody think I got to go see, how can I go work harder? No, work smarter.
Yeah.
Put a system on it. Put some software on it. Put a person on a hire employee. Invest in your business. Invest in yourself. And that's how you can scale up. That's how you can change generational curses and all the stuff people be talking about. That's how you get out the rat race.
So true. So very
I
true.
agree. I agree.
So don't feel like you have to go work even harder. No, work smart, set up good systems, and make your money.
Mhm.
It's really, it's not even rocket science to me. I'm like, shoot, I'm trying to find out how do I stay in a deal and get paid forever if I can, possibly.
Right.
Heck yeah.
Right.
Why wouldn't
It
you?
ain't gonna be forever, but close to forever is good enough. 20 years is good enough. 30 years is good enough. 40 years, whatever you want to give me, I'm all in for it.
Mm,
So true.
Because
I
we bought
like
a
it.
house down here in Oakville, no money down, 0% interest from a person had a free and clear property. He just wanted to sell it. He lives 2 hours away. He don't want to keep coming to St. Louis. Bought a no money down, 0% interest on a 10-year balloon. I solved this whole problem. Pay him $750 a month. I got somebody living there, pay me $1,200 a month. I keep the difference. I don't have to do nothing. And they gave me $8,000 down to move into the property. So I have no money in the deal and it just pays me every month. What if I had about 50 of them?
Yeah.
That's what
Wow.
I'm just mad at. I ain't got more of them. I'm like, I need to find
Right.
more.
Right.
Right.
One is nice, but 20 will be even nicer because now you're out the rat race.
So true. So true.
But it's just a mindset shift, like Rich was saying. It's a whole shift of thought. You can't just lock yourself in a box. Say, I have to do it this way because that's what they say. No, I'm looking at all options. All options are on the table. What all the presidents said for the last 30, 40 years. All options are on the table when they want a stable rattle. What they say.
Right. Yep. All
And that's,
on the table.
and that's exactly what you want to do.
That's right. You have to.
So
Yeah.
what are you doing as far as marketing Orlando to find you some sellers and things like that?
I'm driving for dollars and I'm cold calling. I do a lot of cold calling. I talk to a lot of people every day. So I get the hang-ups, I get the cursing out, I get the who is this? I get it all. I get
How'd
it
you get my
all.
number?
Yeah, how'd you get my number? Uh, Wrong number, don't speak English. you know.
They don't speak no.
I
Yeah.
had I had one today. I'm not kidding you. It's the same. I mean, every time my phone call, it comes over on my regular cell phone number. I've had that number literally since it since it first came out 23 years ago. When I worked for AT&T Wireless, when they first launched in St. Louis, and all the employees got the numbers they had in a pool. This was before you could take your number. And remember back in the day, if you canceled with one carrier and went to another carrier, you got a new phone number. Well, this was before that. So they gave us our numbers before we even launched in St. Louis. So nobody else had these phone numbers. So I've had this number the whole time. In the last 3 months, some skip tracing service or something has been given my number as this guy named Van that's got a house in St. Louis. That if I was really mean, I'd be going out trying to find Van myself because I know people are trying to find him and he's on somebody's list. No, but I haven't. So at first it kind of ticked me off. And man, I've had this number this whole time. And finally I've been like, you know what? This morning I got the call and before she said anything, I was like, "You looking for Van?" And she's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah, or is this Van?" Or something. No, I answered the phone and she said, "Yeah, sir. I don't know if you're the guy who owns so and so, such and such." And I was, "All right, we're trying to find the owner of such and such." I go, "You are?" And she thought I said, "Yeah, that's me," or something, because she's like, "Oh, sir, we were wanting to know if you'd like to sell your." I go, "I never said that was me."
So wait a minute. So you're telling me they were so locked into this script they didn't even listen to you?
Exactly. That's the script, right? Absolutely. It's like, well, it says next thing I got to say is this, so I better say it no matter what the thing they said was here. So it's like, look, no, take it easy. I said, I'm a real estate investor too. I'm just trying to have a conversation with you. I know you're looking for Van, right? And she's like, yeah. I was like, I'm not Van. I don't know why you got my number. But so then I started trying to have a conversation with her, like, so are you a real estate investor or are you a virtual assistant? And she's like, yeah, I'm a virtual assistant. I was like, how are things going? And she just wanted to move on to the next part of the conversation. I'm like, look, I've already established I am not Van. I'm just having a conversation with you, maybe share something with each other. And I was like, look, it's okay. I know you don't want to have a conversation. You probably got 50 other phones you got to call, phone numbers you got to call. I'll let you go. But it was just so funny that, I was like, I'm just going to, all right, be open and have a conversation with this person that's calling me thinking I'm Van. But
wow.
So are you driving for dollars, Orlando, and then skip tracing the properties you identified during driving for dollars?
Yes. And I know there's Deal Machine and other systems like that I can use. But at this point, I'm tracking a lot of what I'm doing with different KPIs, and I'm
Okay.
seeing the cold calling, how long I cold calling, how many numbers are abandoned, how many I hit, and
Okay.
just trying to see what works right now. Once I think once we get maybe a couple of more deals closed, we'll try a different systems, see how they work.
Sure.
But really just
Yeah.
tracking everything right now. So
Yeah. I completely understand what you're talking about.
So do you like doing the cold calling yourself or what?
I do, I do. The only thing is like today, man, I had a really busy day. I met with a realtor, I looked at a property, I made calls. I get up at like 6 a.m. in the morning. Took my kids with me, cooked breakfast, seen my wife for lunch. So the day was really just kind of moving and moving. So by the time I made my calls from 3 o'clock to 6, I was like, hey, this is Orlando. It was a little sluggish. I didn't have that
Yeah.
upbeat like I do at 8 a.m. when I got my cup of coffee and I'm like, hey, man, I speak to such and such and such. Um, so yeah, sometimes it's a little demanding, it's a little trying, but yeah, it's all me right now. My wife, she helps with some sale points. She has some experience in sales, but it's just us right now. Um, so yeah, we're just doing a lot of networking, uh, and just kind of just honestly, man, I'm enjoying it. Even I've lost on a deal. I lost like $500 on a deal, but I learned so much from that deal. I don't look at it as losing. I look at it as learning. Uh, so I'm either winning or I'm learning.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, next time I'll get the property a little lower. I got it at a certain price. I kind of believe the seller a little bit instead of doing my own due diligence. End up finding out that it wasn't that hot of a property in that area, but I learned. I was like, okay, next time I'll make sure my numbers are accurate. I'll make sure my comps are on point. I'll make sure I have some buyers in that area. Just the whole experience. Just
So
the
wait
whole
a minute, you saying the seller said that the area was hot, or what is it that they kind of lied about?
Well, it was just my own eagerness, honestly. I found out that he was a rehabber and he was like, yeah, man, I just sold this other property. It sold for 140 and stuff. And so then I looked up the property. I said, man, this didn't sell for 140. It sold for like 132. And he's like, yeah, the property across the street just sold for this. And I'm thinking like, this was like maybe a couple months ago, maybe almost like a month and a half ago. And I'm just like, man, I just want to get in and I just want to get it under contract. And and I got it under contract. And so I'm marketing it, to different buyers, and they're like, um, we don't see it. We don't see the ARV at that number. And so I was like, well, I talked to a realtor and the realtor said, hey, it'll go for this and it'll go for that. And I'm giving them everything that I've put into it. And they're like, yeah, we don't see it. We can offer this. I'm like, there's no way I can take that. I would lose, at least 10 to 12,000 on this house. There's no way I can do it. And I ended up talking to him and I was like, can you go any lower? He's like, no, I can't go any lower. So I end up having to have him sign a mutual release. And he signed a mutual release. He got his earnest money. And it was just a learning experience. I took it like, hey, I paid $500 for this learning experience. But
So he basically was not willing to renegotiate at all.
not at all. I
So wait a
think
minute, you say $500. So I guess that was what, non-refundable or something, or what was it that you
that
got?
was the earnest money.
But I mean, didn't your contract protect you where you shouldn't be able to lose the money though?
Yeah, yeah.
There's no way you can lose money wholesaling. I guess there is a way, but I hope there shouldn't be any way you should lose money to a seller while you got a deal. If your contract is right, I don't know what paperwork you're using, but you
Right.
definitely got to make sure that it's subject to inspection and subject to approvals or whatever out clauses you got, and that's what should have escaped you out to get whatever money you put up back.
Right.
Wow. And see, look, I just learned something right there, man. Because my contract is simple. It's a one pager, but it definitely has an inspection period.
That's
It
what you
has
need.
contingencies.
Simple, one page,
Yep.
and they got all the clauses and everything. I'm getting out
Yep.
the deal, and I ain't
Yep.
giving you $1.
So I mean, so when
So are you using, Orlando, are you using an option contract or an actual like purchase and sale agreement?
It's a purchase and sale. It's a standard purchase, earnest money, the
Right.
fee, and then underneath it has all the contingencies, all the clauses,
Sure.
and I've never gotten to that point. I never got to the point to where I've had a property and it didn't sell. Even when I did it years ago, it sold. So I never got to that experience to say, hey, I can't find a buyer for it. But in that scenario, I mean, what do I do? What do I say? I need to fill out another form, or do I just tell the seller, hey, my inspection didn't go through,
I,
or
I tell them straight up, we did some due diligence, we did some research, and we got one of two options here, Mr. Seller. One, we can we can cancel this deal altogether and let bygones be bygones. Or if you still want to sell it, we need to be at X number amount. We're ready to go and get this thing closed up. Now that's after you got a buyer already. You're not gonna have
right,
that conversation before then. But once you got a buyer that wants it, hey, yeah, we can do it. But according to the information we researched and did some more, we needed a little more repairs than we thought. We need to be at this number here. If you can do that, we'd be more than happy to get this thing wrapped up quickly for you, close it up in a couple of days. Or if you want to back out, I completely understand, but you're not, we're willing to just let it go if you want to and let
so
them
I
make
mean,
their own decision.
so what is the process? Do I talk to the title company, or I mean, is it another piece of paper that we sign? Or, I mean,
Yeah, you can do an addendum if you need to change the price. I wouldn't change anything on my original. I would just add a sheet to say original price was this, new price is that, and everything else. And original contract stays the same, something to that effect.
Yeah.
right? No, I mean, I understand that. I've done an amendment before
Mhm.
to where I've changed the closing date, or I can change the price, but I mean to the point to where I can't sell it. Like the instance where I lost the $500. Instead of me losing the $500, or would I contact the title company and say, hey, due to my inspections or whatever clause I got?
Yeah,
Yeah.
as long as your clauses is on your original paperwork to say
Yep.
subject to inspection, and we went and
Yep.
did our inspection, and we found this and this and that, we're not closing on it. And if you can't work something out between you and the seller, then you just cancel the deal and get your money back. They
Right.
can't take your money for it if your paperwork's right, though. That's the trick.
Right.
If your paperwork ain't straight, then you up a creek without a paddle. This whole
Right.
business breezes through paperwork. That
Yep.
people get in the way, the properties can get in the way, but if your paperwork's straight, it don't matter.
Yeah.
So the earnest money really don't matter then either.
Don't matter. And I only give them $100. And I don't even really give them that. I put $100 will be held at escrow. And I even have bought houses for $10. Exactly. Not only
Yep.
just do it, I usually put 100 just to make them feel better. It's just an extra
Right.
zero. I mean, I don't know. But I have actually bought houses for $10 earnest money. So
Yeah. All my contracts say $10. I think out of all my deals, I've only had 3 people ever come back and say, "Can't you put down more than $10?" That's it. And matter of fact, I mean, when I come to them, I say, look, it's $10 down, blah, blah, blah. And I just say, look, that's just so that the title company go ahead and start work because I put some money down on it.
Right.
That's, and when they say that, you can, I mean, if I know we're not really having that conversation, but it's a matter of those 3 people. I lost 2 of them. I lost the deal because I didn't want to go any more than that. I just didn't. They wanted like somebody wanted 500. I'm like, I'm not putting $500 down. I'm in the business of buying houses. I put $500 down on every freaking house I put under, that I buy or whatever. I'm not gonna have any money to buy the houses, right? I mean, that's
Right.
somebody, but the other person were like, oh, okay, that's fine. That's like, look, we're gonna close this really super quick anyway, so.
Right.
Would you rather have $500 sitting at the title company, or you want your $5,000, whatever, 50,000 in a week or 2? So
Wow. Wow.
So
Wow.
yeah, it's
Wow.
all about positioning yourself in the right spot. You don't ever want to put yourself locked in. You want to leave yourself with options as well, to where you can, basically get out of a deal if you don't want to. I mean, there's many deals that didn't make it. I didn't lose a dime. I've never lost a dime on a wholesale deal like that. Maybe in marketing and stuff like that, you can say you lost money if you want to consider
Right.
it loss, but that's an investment. But as far as giving somebody money, $500, $1,000, and all that, nah, it won't happen. Impossible. It's
Right.
possible
Yeah,
if you do it right.
as long, like Chris said, as long as you're wording in your agreement. I mean, we never enter into agreement, thinking, well, I'm going to be able to get out of this, right? That's not, I mean, you get into agreement thinking, hey,
Right.
yeah, I want to make some money. I'm going to get this deal done, right?
Exactly.
You have those contingency clauses to protect yourself. And then sometimes if you do have to back out, I mean, I've submitted it in writing, write a letter, send it to them if you wanted to, make sure they have it if they want it in writing. But otherwise, I'm like Chris said, calling them, just telling them, here are your options. If it does end up not going through, I think the most the title companies ever had me go through was like it's a mutual termination letter or something that you both have to sign. I don't know if that's their underwriter requiring that or what, but when it all comes down to it, as long as your paperwork's right and as long as you're following your clauses, you'll get that money whether they sign that mutual release or not.
Exactly. So you should never be able to lose no money on no earnest money to somebody, unless
Wow.
unless you said this was a down payment and it's non-refundable and it's completely saying all of that. But I would never do that. So you're good.
Yeah.
I mean, you learn from it. It ain't no biggie. At least it wasn't $5,000. At least it wasn't 50 grand.
I wouldn't
lost
even do that much.
I think I lost $7,000 on a deal before, but that wasn't on a wholesale deal. That was on a house I bought. I'm gonna do
Wow.
a case study on that coming up here in the next couple of weeks.
So I'm the same.
Okay.
On one of my Monday nights.
I actually closed on a house one time because it was so super cheap and it was like $6,500. So I went and closed on it because I had a buyer lined up for 11.5 or something like that. So I was gonna make $5,000 on it. I reached back out to them to, hey, when are we gonna meet up to sign the papers? And they're like, oh, our buyer isn't our not our buyer. I'm sorry, our money guy is not funding that area anymore. I'm like, what? So I got screwed and ended up selling somebody else. And I lost like $2,500 or something. But still, it was like, man, it sucks to do that.
Yeah, you live and you learn, and this real estate stuff can be, it can be a stressful thing, but you're gonna take your lumps. You'll always make more money than you'll ever lose. That's the one thing.
Yep.
If you stay at it, stay consistent, and like I was saying about that cold calling, Orlando, have you thought about just letting somebody else do the calling?
Like a virtual assistant.
If that's what you want to call them. I got 3 of them, or I got 4 virtual assistants now, but 2 of them be on the phones every day. I'd rather for somebody else to make them calls than me. Because I do it, but I would prefer to know that consistently somebody, that's an expense that's in the business, somebody else is going to get her done. Because this is a labor intensive type thing. Somebody got to do it, whether it's you, the wife, kids, virtual assistant, somebody got to do it. And we can't ignore that,
That's true. I've thought about it when we closed our first deal, but I don't know. It's just still at this point, I still kind of want to wait till I get maybe a couple more deals until I start scaling, until I really kind of outsource different parts. Because it's marketing, it's walkthroughs, it's contracts, and it's closing. It's not really, it's not overly hard. It's just me building that system, seeing, okay, hey, between these times it works, between this time it doesn't work. So yeah, I've definitely thought about it, but I don't know how this might sound, but I don't know what type of response that other people would get when I'm using my voice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's I guess that's a kind of, your own business, your own baby type thing, where you're like, hey, nobody's going to work how I work. Yeah.
It's a control thing.
But that's the thing, though. It's just getting leads. All they need to do is find out somebody do want to sell and get some basic information and pass it off to you. And you do all the real, or pass it off to somebody on your team or whatever to do the real stuff. But that, I would call it grunt work. I'm passing it on, man. I can't do it. If you can get somebody to do it for $4 an hour, why would you be doing it? You know what I mean? Just being.
You get somebody to do it for $4 an hour?
Maybe even less.
They live in the Philippines, huh?
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, not saying that it have to be $4, but $5, $7. It's a cost of doing business. If it costs you $200 a week or $100 a week, wouldn't it be worth it to free up your time to spend $400 a month on having somebody else do nothing but manage all the junk you don't want to do?
Absolutely.
I mean, it's pennies in real estate. $400, $500, what's that?
Mm-hmm.
And granted, I've been there, right? I mean, we've all been there. When you start out, it's like, holy crap, I can't spend $400 a month. I'm not making that, right now. I'm paycheck to paycheck or whatever. I get it. But once you've done a deal, take some of that money and look into, hey, maybe I can hire a VA to make these calls for me.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And maybe that's all they do. So maybe they're not working, so it's $400 a month. Maybe all they're doing is calls. And maybe it's only $100 a month.
Yeah. All they got to do is the basics or any kind of spreadsheets, all that type of stuff. I let them do all of that stuff. They run the whole front end of my business. I do not mess with that stuff. I let them do the calls. They even built up the pages, like our websites and stuff. I mean, I showed them how to do the stuff. That's the only thing. That's the only catchback. You got to train them or have videos. I got a bunch of videos to show how to do pretty much everything within the business. But once that video is created, even if somebody else came in and say, here's what I want you to do, here's a video on how to do it. If you got any questions, let me know. And it's a step-by-step walkthrough showing them exactly how to do that task, whatever that task is, and I don't have to go back and do it. But even if I have to go in and work with them, that's worth it to me because I would rather spend a week training you up, 2 weeks training you up, and free myself up to go do other stuff. Your time is more valuable closing a deal than will ever be being on a cold call. You see what I'm saying? Your skill level is higher than, like I was saying earlier, grunt work type work.
Right.
Or doing spreadsheets or all scrubbing numbers and moving this and that. Man, I'm paying somebody $3 or $4 to go do that stuff, man. I ain't finna go do that. Why would I go do that? Not saying that it's not, it's a thing that I wouldn't ever do, but it comes a point where you have to see where is your time most valuable. Time is your most valuable asset, and you don't want to waste it on something that you can task out for $100.
So true, man. So true. I mean, time, you hear time is money, right? I'm just going to capitalize on this, Chris. I'm going to capitalize on this because I love this saying. I was at a real estate investing weekend seminar one time. When I first got in, I paid $200. My wife and I went to this real estate investing seminar. It was with Fortune Builders. And it was actually, this was back in the day when they were still having some of their guys, like the real guys coming. So, they actually had one of the guys from the show actually did the weekend seminar, right? It wasn't one of the guys they hired, So anyway, and he was telling us the story, whether it was a made up story or it's a real story. He was talking about his grandpa, right? And how, he and his grandpa were really close, and his grandpa got sick, and that was a big reason why he got into real estate, so he would have more money to help with like the care of his grandpa and stuff like that even. And he's like, you hear all the time is money, time is money, time is money. But time isn't money. Time is everything. Time is everything, because what would you spend, what would you pay to get a little more time to spend with a deceased loved one, or whatever? Time is everything.
Or to spend time with your family, or to travel, or do all the things you ever want to do in life. You don't want to waste your time, because Father Time catch everybody. I got a little gray hair coming in right there. What you talking about? Father Time will get you in the end, and you'll look back. And that's the only thing I think about with this real estate stuff. I should have been doing this 10 years ago.
How long have you guys been doing it?
I flipped my first house in 2006, but then I took a little break when everything broke down and crashed, and got back in it. 2013 is when we formed our business. So 7 years now, 7.5.
So yeah, I actually closed my very first wholesale deal August of 2018. I went on and closed 17 wholesale deals in my first year. And then, like I said, I got about 10 houses already. So, and I just hit my 2-year mark. I just hit my 2-year anniversary, I think about a week ago or something like that.
Wow.
So 2 years strong, 10 houses strong, coming in, bring them on home. So it could be done. And I feel like I haven't done enough, because it's a lot of deals that fell off, that didn't fall, didn't go through, or I didn't follow up. I lost a lot of deals from failing to follow up. I mean, I'm raising my hand on that one. You caught me. Failing to follow up is my biggest weakness. And that's why I try to use software, systems, other people, VAs, whatever I can to keep me on track, because I know what I'm strong at. And I know what I'm not good at. If I know I'm not good at it, get somebody that is good at it and let them do it. Let them do it better than me. I want them to be better than me on the phone. For all I care.
If you don't enjoy it or have time to do it, have somebody else do it. Absolutely.
Exactly. Yep. And that's why I asked, do you like cold calling? That's the reason I really asked.
Right. I mean, no. Honestly, I don't. But I mean, I don't look at it as something I don't enjoy. I look at it as part of my business. It's something that needs to be done. So, man, I've had so many jobs for so many different owners, and I mean, I've worked hand in hand with the owners. I mean, I've learned so much from these owners, and it's gotten me to this position, to where it's like, if I can work just as hard for you, then I can work even harder for myself.
Please do.
Oh, and I do. So when I get up in the morning, I'm elated, to the sense, because it's not, well, I got to make a cold call. It's, no, I have the freedom to produce in my own company, to invest in myself and to my family. So eventually, yes, Chris, I will definitely outsource cold calling, every point of wholesaling. And then if we get into flips, or if we get into the creative financing, and honestly, that's something I honestly want to talk to you about, is the creative financing side, because I find it very interesting, how you can market certain deals or structure certain deals to where you don't have any equity in the beginning, or any sweat equity, any
Oh,
type of equity.
I'm sorry, I didn't add in to those 10 houses. Guess how much money I got tied up in them?
Let me guess, it rounds with Hero.
A goose egg. How could forget buying a house? Get paid to take the house.
House, right?
That's powerful. I don't
It
even feel
is.
right coming out my lips. But it's a reality, you know. So it seems like it's
Yeah.
not real, but it's real.
Right.
We got a couple of questions over here on the stream. We got
Yeah.
time for a couple questions.
Yeah, man.
All right, let's see. They over here having a good time. Let's see what we got here. Dingy over here on YouTube says, "Are you using a dialer? If so, is it a single line?" I guess that's for you, Orlando.
Yes, I am using a dialer. I'm using Call Tools, and it's a power dialer and it's a predictive dialer. So what I do is I've integrated it with Podio, to where when I get new leads or if I get some new information, I force Podio to update that information. That way I'm not copy and pasting. But yes, I do. I use Call Tools.
Cool.
Okay, cool. What about you, Rich? You using something?
You know, I use so depends if I'm doing ringless voicemail, because I'll do ringless voicemail on my on you know, before I start calling back, because I don't want to sit and hit 50, you know, no good numbers or whatever. They'll call me and tell me to take me off their list because they're not the right number. I don't know who you're trying to get a hold of or whatever. So I use a service called Drop to do my ringless voicemails. They're super cheap and pretty good. I've had pretty good success with that. So I've also got, you know, I'm not trying to sell anything on the side. I'm saying if you're interested in that and you want to check it out, let me know. I can send you like a whatever code to get you a special rate. So let me know if you're interested. Again, I'm not selling anything.
Yes, you are selling it, Rich, and I'm gonna let you sell it.
All right,
We want to help
never
people
mind.
out. It ain't even about selling. We want to let these people know about these good tools if they're working. You know,
That's
they can
right.
try it for
That's right.
themselves. It's not that you made them do it, and then hey, you can
Right.
check it out. If
True.
it works, it works.
Yeah.
If it don't, it don't. It ain't no
Yep.
biggie. Ain't
Yep.
nothing wrong with selling something.
No, I know. I just like that's part of the thing, and you know, trying to get people out here and say, hey, join our group. We don't sell anything. We don't upsell. We don't get you to join a mentorship. We don't. And
No, we don't. I mean, but it's still, you know, we want to help people out though, because there's a lot of services, and that's why I always ask people: is it working for you? Is it bad? Is it good? What's the upside, the downside, and all that? What about you, Mike, or what was it, Mark? What was your name?
Mark.
Mark. Yeah, what are you using for dialing?
We're just signing up with Dream Machine. I don't know how it's going to work. I don't know what to expect. Your idea of paying someone to do it, and I would imagine that they would probably be a little more motivated if I gave them a base pay and then a special commission when we did get a house. You know, I guess kind of like a little bonus if they actually, you know, turn out getting a house for us or giving us a lead that we can actually get one. But I think that's a great idea. Now these, because I'm telling you right now, when it comes to cold calling, I'm not the guy.
Yeah, at least you know your strength.
Right, and I do, and I really do. And that's not, man, I don't want to be on the phone. I want to be out, you know, trying to work and get something going. So, yeah, I definitely, if we do that, we probably will work some kind of deal with one or two people that would call.
Makes sense. And yeah, so I've used Call Tools before. We canceled it. We're using something now called IQ Dial. So we do you know, calls, texts, emails, all that stuff within the same thing. In fact, there's a whole list of all the services I recommend at wokerealestate.com. Everything that I use in trials and all that type of stuff too as well on some of them. So that's what I always, you know, I share all the stuff that I use. So people say, what do you use for this? This is what I use. You can try it out. If it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. Don't blame me.
Right.
I just, you know.
It wasn't, pay Chris $99 a month and you get all these tools. That's a difference.
Exactly. So yeah, everything I use is at wokerealestate.com. Lucy got a question for you, Rich.
Oh, yeah?
She says, Rich, what has been your experience with PropStream? Would you guys suggest a person hire a VA right away or just drive for dollars and cold call on their own?
I use a competitor software called RealFlow. It's not, and I'm very interested in trying PropStream. I'll be honest with you, I haven't yet. Only because I listened to the video and I know think even Max Maxwell said, look, don't do it unless you've got 7 days to focus on it and actually put into it, because you get that free 7 days, and like anything else, you try the fancy shiny new thing and you maybe find out what it can, like 10% of what it can do. If I'm going to make a switch on what I already know and my system's in place to try something better, which I think PropStream probably is better in some aspects, but I want to be able to dig in and bury in, and even over a weekend, and give it 100% effort. But I haven't done it yet. I use RealFlow. I like it. And then what was the second part of that question? I'm sorry, Chris.
I was asking, would you suggest person getting a VA early on, or focus more on cold calling and driving for dollars if they're just kind of starting?
If people are just starting, honestly, I don't want to tell people, hey, go spend some money you don't need to do right away. It depends what your budget is, really, honestly. If you got a budget that's in place that you can get a VA, absolutely. I'm a big believer in, peel off some things that you either don't want to do or don't like to do, and peel it off and have somebody else do it. Of course, you want to spend the time to show them how you want them to do it. I made a mistake the very first time I hired a VA. I thought they were already a real estate VA. I was told they were a real estate VA. So obviously they must know what to do. So go ahead, do it. Here, you're hired. Go find me some leads.
No.
So that was not the case at all. So lesson learned, don't do it that way. Make sure you know what you want them to do. And like Chris said, he's got training videos. If it's not a training video, write it down. If nothing else, handwriting. Even if they'll figure out your chicken scratch. If they can't, they'll ask you. But if nothing else, write it down. Like, here's what you do when I get a return postcard and I send it to you. I want you to do step 1, go to the obituary. Step 2, do the whatever, and write out exactly what you want them to do if you're going to hire a VA. But if your budget is so that you can hire one now, absolutely. Even when you're starting out, have them do things for you. Otherwise, for what Orlando's doing, if nothing else, and I still make calls myself sometimes when I'm not doing ringless voicemails, is that what you can do yourself, you will learn from. You're going to pay for it one way or the other. You're either going to pay somebody to make the calls, or you're going to pay for it in time and maybe blood and sweat too.
And a tear.
tears.
And tears, yeah.
Yep.
So you're going to pay for it one way or the other. Just you got the money to do it, or you have the time to do it.
Guys, I've only got about 2% on my wife's phone here, but and then if I go in there, the grandkids are making so much noise. But
so drop something heavy on them, Mark, before you leave. Drop something heavy on them.
Drop something heavy on them.
Yeah.
Are you guys?
On everybody.
The community.
Everybody.
Anybody got any
community that's
properties?
watching
Anybody got any properties I can look at tomorrow?
Yes.
There you go.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Put your name and phone number stuff in the chat, and Rich will get all our contact information connected.
Yeah, put your
Okay.
name, phone number, and email in the chat here, and I'll make sure everybody on the call gets it. And that's one of the benefits of joining us on the Zoom is you get everybody's info that's on the Zoom.
Thank you.
That's right.
I appreciate you guys. I'll be a little more prepared this next time. This is the first time I've ever. Hey, I do have a complaint, Rich.
Okay.
Hey, you got to use some kind of different software than you're using, man. This makes me look old and fat.
I'm glad you asked. I do upsell Zoom, filters.
You upsell them.
Oh man. Okay. Well, thank you guys. It's nice meeting you, and I'll follow up. Thank you guys.
You too as well, Mark.
See you in 2 weeks.
Thanks, Mark.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, bye.
2 weeks, or even next, if you got time during the day, next Tuesday, we're going to have our Hootie's House Buyers Club between 11:30 a.m. and 1:30 p.m. It'll be the same type of thing. If you already registered once before, you're going to get that email with an invite. So if not, STLVIPlist.com.
I look forward to that. All right.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
That's right. That's the website.
Thank you, Mark.
STLVIPlist.com.
All right. Okay.
All right. Have a good day. So for Lucy's question, yes, PropStream is okay. And plus, I got a new app. I just downloaded it to the phone, and I haven't even tried it yet. But I'm actually going to be going out to try it here in the next couple of days. I downloaded it, so I did the first step. I just didn't do anything else with it. I'm going to go try it out and see what it really can do. Because like you were saying a second ago, Rich, there's a lot of stuff that I've been on it for probably 7-8 months or something. But that thing has a lot of features and stuff you'll never use. I mean, it's information overload. That's really the best way I can put it. It's so much data when you can get MLS data nationwide, vacant house data nationwide, absentee owners nationwide, all this stuff compiled into your list and more, divorce, bankruptcy, all these different types of lists, any type of list you can think of, all in your computer and now even on your phone that's connected to your thing on the computer. So you add stuff on there. And I'm actually going to have Burton from PropStream come on August the 10th. He'll be on my Monday night show. I think that's the 10th. Whatever the next Monday, yeah, August the 10th, he'll be on to give a full walkthrough of the app and all that type of stuff to show exactly what it does do. And if anybody want to get the free 7-day trial, what's the link? Wokesource.com. Rich say everybody got something free. Yeah.
I've got it. You said they're waiting.
Wokesource.com.
What a follow-up question about that though. What would you say, Chris, for what you do? What is the biggest, shiniest, flashy thing about PropStream?
More leads than you can even process.
Okay.
If you ever be like, oh, I ain't got enough leads, you lying to yourself. It's impossible. You can't even pull 10,000 leads. I've never pulled that many leads off of it. I mean, I think the most we did was maybe 5,000 in 1 month, but I never even got to reach all them people. It was too many. It's more leads than you can digest. You can't call enough people. You can't, you know what I mean? And even unless you're doing like multiple markets or something like that, and 10,000 leads is a lot to do in 1 month. It's just information overload, like I say. So it makes a big difference there. Let me see here. I think we had a couple of other questions in here. What else? Good evening, all good vibes, they say. Good evening, everyone. Lucy says she likes IQ Dial. Chris put her onto that system and it's nice. Let's see here. She said, thanks, great answer, Rich. Talking to you.
Awesome. You're welcome.
And somebody else had another couple of questions. There's so many things here. I'm trying to see them all. Oh, okay. Somebody over on Periscope say, how do you double close if it's not available in your state?
Ooh. So like if it's illegal, if they don't let it because of you have to actually have the funds to do it, or they just won't, they won't do it, or man. Probably
have to do something called transactional funding, where you have somebody else front the money for 24 hours or however long, where they make a percentage on their money real quick and they'll buy it, close on it, and then you just sell it right back to the other person. I guess that's still a version of double closing, but there's always legal loopholes around all of this stuff. So people say, you can't do this, you can't do that. There's a way to do it, believe me.
Yeah.
There's always a way.
Yeah, and whether it's, find out what your state's regulations are on that. Maybe some of them might have a 24-hour seasoning, may have 72 hours, so whatever that span is, that they don't consider it a double closing anymore. Then just make sure you got transactional funds for that.
Yep, I agree with you, Chris. I know a good friend of mine. He recommends transactional funding, and he charges 2% on the purchase. It's not how much you make, but it's on the purchase. Okay. So, yep.
Cool. I know that's right. So they making money real quick. 2% in 24 hours.
Yep.
Right. What is that on annually?
Yeah, exactly. They doing that. So, hey, 2% quick. And how many times you can flip that same money?
Yep.
As many times as you want.
And see, that's the thing, money's meant to move. It's a currency. It means to flow like a current, not sit in a bank account and die, not sit in a 401k and wait till I'm 65 or whatever the rules are. And, all that stuff. You want to work that money. How do I get this money out to work? I don't want a bunch of money just sitting. I want it out working for me. That's my soldiers.
That's right. That's right.
All right. So let's see here. Dingy wants to know, I want to ask if there's I don't know if y'all have this, a comparison between Propelio and PropStream, but I think I'm hearing the answer. They want to know which one is better, if you even had them.
You
never use them?
I've never used Propelio. I just use my RealFlow. I really do like RealFlow. I do, and it has a ton of leads too. I just think I got to check into what specific types of leads that maybe PropStream has better and more than RealFlow, and I'm hearing a few things. But
what is it? How much is RealFlow a month?
I got it on a special. It was like $49 a month. I think you can either get it $49, maybe $99 a month for your single user. But I think $49 a month is pretty standard. And that comes with like hosting 2 sites. You can have you can have a buyer site and a seller site, as well as I think you get 10, maybe not. You get 10 landing pages. You got to go out and buy your hosts and get your host and buy your domain name and everything yourself, but they'll house them for you. It's pretty decent. I really do like it. I'm trying to talk myself out of it. No, but there's some things I really want to see what the flashy bells and whistles are with PropStream.
Yeah, I've been using a free service. I don't know, y'all. Do y'all like free stuff? I'm gonna drop a gem on
We
y'all.
like free stuff.
Wait a minute. I heard somebody in the back say they want some free stuff. I don't know. Let me see. I've been using, he just mentioned landing pages. I've been using MailChimp.
Yeah.
Some free landing pages. I mean, it gets the job done. I actually bought the domain, forwarded it to the MailChimp link, and it looks like a regular website. So if somebody go to the website and go right on there and see a list of properties for our rent-to-own properties, or they can go on there and see a list of properties for our cash deals. They can add themselves right to the email list right there on the page as well. So it kind of takes out a lot of the stuff. Because I'm a systems guy. How can I put a system on this stuff and forget about it? I don't want to remember this stuff and, how do I do that? I don't remember nothing. Put it on the system, forget about it, and go back and live life. That's what I'll be trying to do. So yeah, MailChimp, that's what I've been using for some free landing pages.
What's one of the addresses of your landing page?
You can try cashleasepurchase.com. Cashleasepurchase.com. That's for our rent-to-own deals. Or you can look at buyforcashstl.com, all spelled out. Buyforcashstl.com. That's for our all cash deals. It's just a landing page, but it's got information and everything you need right there.
So are they both targeted to buyers, or do you target sellers both?
So yeah, but then I have another website. That's for dispositions. Those both are for dispositions. So one's for rent to own, creative people that want to know, how does the program work? How much down? How does it work? How do I know if you're a scam? It's got a lot of frequently asked questions right on there on the cash lease purchase site. And then the other one is directed specifically for cash buyers.
Okay, cool.
So if you want to buy on terms, we got a site specifically for you. You want to buy for cash, we got a site specifically for you. Don't ask me nothing. Those are the properties that are available. If you want them, go get them. And then when they click on the picture, it opens up. Got pictures, video, walkthrough, all the information. So the only thing you need to know is, can I come see it and can I drop an offer on it? Not ask me about the house. I don't have a lot of conversations about houses. But what do you think about this? I don't know. You see it. You can come see it. I ain't gonna make you. I ain't gonna sell it to you. I'm gonna let you sell yourself.
True.
So, that's what I do. What are you using for that? You said you're using RealFlow for the two things, or what is it?
Yeah, I got a buyer site and a seller site. So I try to keep it a little different, because I don't want to, obviously you don't want to send your sellers to the site that's got all the listings of all the houses you're buying and you're trying to sell to somebody else, right?
Yeah.
But and then I've got like my STL VIP list is a landing page site through them as well, and yeah, so I've done it.
What do they do with the emails? They put them on a list just for you or something, or they go into like something else?
Yeah, so it feeds them into my contacts. So it immediately just dumps them right into my contact list in RealFlow. So I then see my contacts are and add them to then my email list. I was using MailChimp for like my emails and stuff, mass emails, but I don't know what the heck happened there. And I'm kind of a little pissed off a little ticked off at MailChimp. So
here's another little small hack for MailChimp. You ready for this? It's a little hack.
Yeah.
I got 5 accounts with them. They say you can only do like so many things. So I got 5 different accounts too.
Okay.
See, I'll be hacking. See, I'm a hacker for real. I don't like telling everybody that. I'll be figuring it out. Like, how you figure that out? I try stuff. See, I'm always trying something new, trying to figure out another way to do it.
You told me that too whenever I told you the first time I had that problem. You're like, make another account. I was like, no, that's when I was like, no, screw them, man. So I use Moose End right now. It does basically the same thing.
And what are you using, Orlando? For like, you doing anything as far as emails and stuff like that, or?
No, not at the moment. But actually, with PropStream, I've used it as a landing page. I kind of finagled it a little bit. I used the pictures, and I used as a marketing tool for my buyers. So I said, hey, you go to this page right here, and it gives you your own website. And then I put my asking price, ARVs, everything, the pictures, the links. That way I don't have to keep giving it to you in the email. Hey, go to this landing page. You see the pictures. You see what I'm asking. You see what it's about, this ARV. So I kind of tweak PropStream a little bit in that manner. So
wait a minute. So you saying they go to a link and it's connected to PropStream?
Yeah.
So they have landing pages there too? I didn't even know.
Yeah, they do. They do.
See, I didn't even know they had landing pages on PropStream.
And then it lets you know how many people have landed on the page, and it's once they put in their information, it goes straight to your email.
Right. That's what somebody else just said in the comments. Ooh, PropStream has landing pages.
Yeah.
Nice. Can you
Yeah.
get like when somebody puts in their stuff, you get an email? Like, can you set it up so you get a text message too?
I'm not
Just curious.
sure. I'm not sure. And I've only done it with one property.
Okay,
That was a property that I had in Tower Grove,
gotcha.
and I just put the pictures. You can change the font, you can
Oh, cool.
change the color, you can change it to make it as presentable as you want to.
Nice.
And I did that, and the link they put in their information if they're interested. I gave them a phone number, and it all shoots back to my email, so I know who's interested and who's not.
Right. That's
Yeah,
nice.
because that's what I did with the like I said, that cash site. That's just a landing page, but it got multiple properties on there. Like it got some residential deals, a couple of commercial deals, and even on the top it say add your name and email address if you want to be notified for more. And then I don't have to do nothing. It just adds up people organically over time. If they
Yep.
want to be notified, good. If you don't, then don't. It ain't no biggie to me.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
That's
I
awesome.
know that's right. So let me see here. I think that's, let me see if we had any other questions on here. He said, I'm sold. So yeah, if you want to try out PropStream for free, go get the free 7-day trial at wokesource.com. Tell them Chris sent you.
Right. Yep.
But you'll be hooked. I mean, that's the only thing I thought about
Yeah.
PropStream is I should have had it the day I started the business. That's the only thing the day I started, I should have said straight in there and get it. I didn't get it till 6-7 months after the fact or whatever.
Okay.
I should have had it day one, but it's becoming more popular now. Everybody got all
Right.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I may have waited too long.
No, not really. And that's what I say. There's so many leads and so much stuff. You can't get to all these people. It's almost
You
impossible.
can't.
That's
Chris,
true.
I agree with you. There's so much information on PropStream. There's so many analysis tools. They got cash flow tools, rehab analysis, rental portfolio, marketing pages. They even got it now to where if you set a certain criteria, you can it'll do it automatically. It'll send up every niche that you have automatically and send it to you. So you don't have to keep searching your area and saying, okay, these are property. You set your niche or whatever list that you want to hit, and it sends it right to you. I get emails all the time, 50 new properties, 20 new properties.
Mhm.
And like you said, the app as well. I just tried the app last week. I think it still needs a little bit of work.
They always do. You would
Yeah,
think that, yeah.
yeah. And I use it on an Android, so it may be work better on the Apple. But you know, it works good. You can use it for driving for dollars. It tracks your driving. But I still haven't really dove too deep into it. But I like it. I like
What
it. It
is
gives
that?
me my comps.
What does that run in a month? I'm just curious.
It runs
Right.
97
Yeah, it's
$97.
$97 a month. As I say,
Yep.
it's $100. I mean, when
Yep.
you think about it, it's $1,200 a year. I mean, how much more stuff? I mean, with that much data, where you never have, I used to buy one list for $500 or $600. I
Right.
bought lists for that back in the day from
Yep.
List Source and all of them. I
Yep.
bought lists. Like, damn, that list was high, and they charge you per person and all that.
Right.
Nah, it ain't none of that over here. You can pull as many as you can handle almost.
Yep.
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 And multiple markets. You can say, I want to be in Kansas City. I want to be in Texas. I want to be wherever I want to be, and you can go there.
Let me ask you one quick question about it, because the like Real Flow, you can get to probate leads even, but you got to pay more for them separate. That's the only kind of lead that you got to pay extra for. All the other kind of leads, it's just if you want absentee, vacancy, or whatever, that's fine. Is there a filter for probates?
I'm not sure if there's an actual probate in there, but I believe, I mean, you can get some, but I don't know if it's actually in there or not.
I was just curious.
There's so many filters. I know there's divorce. I know there's bankruptcy. I know there's absentee owner. I know there's vacant. I know there's expired listings. I know there's active listings. I know there's actually I could have just pulled it up on the screen and see.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now.
So it's a lot of stuff on there. It's like so much. It's kind of like good night.
They have pre-foreclosure.
If they include probate lists or leads, I'm canceling them all. No, I'm gonna
just try it for free first. Go do the 7-day trial and play around with it.
I'm gonna start my 7-day bury myself into it for 7 days.
Yeah, and just go try it out, because then you'll see exactly what it'll do. And you'll say, man, it's more than I can even handle.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure all these people.
Yep.
So let's see, they got
liens, bankruptcy, divorces, equity, mortgage,
pre-foreclosures, bank owned. What else is this?
Looking for that P word, the magic
probate.
golden P word.
I've been looking at
they
certain
got child
videos.
support liens, mechanic liens, solar liens, HOA liens, tax lien. Let's see here.
I want to say they do, Rich, but don't
don't
quote
see
me
Oh,
on it.
yeah, that's fine, man. It's okay. I don't know is a perfectly good answer.
Yeah,
we actually
I
we
honestly,
actually use something else for that anyway, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Okay. Okay.
That's like real fast. We're gonna get it so fast nobody even know it was even in there. I want to
I'd
know
love
about
to
before
talk
it
to you
get
about that
printed.
later.
I want to get it before it get printed in the newspaper.
Yep.
True.
I want to get it on the way to get printed.
That's right. Hijacking the printing truck.
Yep.
Give me that paper, man. Don't put that out. It's
I'll
got
buy all of
probate in it.
these. I'll buy all the newspapers.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. So, this stuff makes a difference and it can be done. Anything you want to do in this business, you can do it. For the
Yeah,
people
absolutely.
listening and watching, we got about 18 people in here watching on a couple of streams right now. So,
I was
So
hoping
that
Miss
works.
Melendez would pop up and tell us she got a deal done while she's been off her video and on mute, because she's
said she had to go.
she's making it happen.
she said she had to go. She down in Texas,
Oh yeah,
San Antonio,
that's right. That is
making
right.
that money. All right. Any other questions or anything from the audience here before we wrap this thing up shortly? When is the next one, Rich, and how do people sign up again for people who
So
want to get
the next one of these in the evening, 6 p.m. is 2 weeks from now, which is going to be August 11th, I believe. Yep, August 11th. So August 11th, 6 p.m. Central Time. They can register if you've already been registered. If you've already been on one of these calls, on the Zoom call, you're already on the list. You'll get an email. But if you want to double check, you can always, or if you want to make sure, or if you've never been on the Zoom call itself, you can register to be on the Zoom call at stlviplist.com. You'll get the email. I'm trying to get better at sending them the email better than the day before or the day of.
But that's about when they need to see it anyway, because they ain't gonna remember.
That's true. That's true.
We got busy
So-
lives. We can't remember
That's
what's
right.
happening tomorrow.
Just check it the day of then.
Right, about 2 hours in advance, and then you'll get them all on there.
That's right. And
I
then,
sent the link.
so stlviplist.com. Otherwise, if people want to get on the Hootie's House Buyers Club monthly meeting, I mean, anybody that got this invite is going to get that invite too. So that is next Tuesday at 11:30 a.m. Central Time. We go 2 hours. It's a hard cutoff at 2 hours. So 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Central Time.
All right, cool. What about you, Orlando? You got any closing statements, closing questions, anything you want to drop on us heavy?
Yes, resistance is futile.
Exactly. Wait a minute, that's the wrong one.
Yeah,
Those Vulcan hands.
that's the old one. You gotta play a certain game to know that one. But no, I want to thank you guys for the information and the experience that you provided with me, and I'm sure everybody else who's listening in and watching. Again, I'm new in the field. I'm learning just like everyone else, and I'll continue to learn. So I just appreciate you guys' time, the platform that you're using, so we all can connect in this real estate game that we're all in to learn and help each other. So
Absolutely.
I appreciate it. I
Hey,
do.
Thank you, bud.
That's
Appreciate
what I'm
that.
talking about. So yeah, I put my email in there as well, chris@wokerealestate.com. Anybody want to
Okay.
invest, connect, deals, JV, all that stuff. I'll look at anything and I'll tell you it's junk, or I'll tell you, yeah, let's do something. chris@wokerealestate.com. So yeah, a lot of people are like, oh, I got this deal, like ARV 100,000, I got it for 90. It's probably not a deal. So now they'll take some turns. I can create a deal if they'll do it. I'm
Right.
all about creating something out of thin air, because that's where the wealth is created from, in my experience.
True. And
And,
that's the key too also is, I love helping new people too. So if people want to connect with me and say, hey, can you work these, work some deals with me and show me how it's done? I love doing that, but they've got to also be willing to hear a no from time to time. Like somebody says, hey, will you go with me to go look at this house? And I'm not picking them. Okay, I'll pick on it. This house in North City, it's 4-bedroom, 2-bath. It needs about $300,000 in work. They say the ARV is going to be about $500,000, and it's right there on St. Louis Avenue, and it's not and it's not Crown Candy. Then I may have to say no, man. The numbers don't work. We're not going to waste our time driving there to look at it. But most of the time I'll be like, let's talk it out and hear more about it. Maybe what's the motivation? What's the seller sound like? Are they open to more than just are they flexible on the price, whatever. So, but they got to be willing to hear no. Cause I remember I was new. I wanted to go see every single house I got a lead from, whether it was a deal or not. and you waste so much time doing that. And every single person will tell you that usually, right? I mean, everybody that's been in the business for a little bit and they've been on some calls or they've been on some appointments and they've seen things don't work out sometimes when you get to house and it doesn't quite need the $4,000 in work they said it needed. It needs more like $20,000 to $25,000 in work. And you're like, crap, I just wasted my time completely because they're hard set on 70,000. I need them to be at 20,000. You know, so don't do it. Don't waste your time. Numbers don't work. Don't convince yourself you can get them to work.
Exactly. And I'm a big advocate of having it under contract before I ever go see it. I lock up a property in a heartbeat over the phone, over the internet, and then go see it with a cash buyer if I'm not going to buy it myself. See, virtual, I came in the game virtual. So I say, what? I ain't got to go see the house. I ain't got to go meet the seller. I ain't got to go run from their little mutt dog, keep jumping up on me. I ain't got to go see that crying baby. I ain't got to go do none of this other stuff, but I can get the deal done. That paperwork makes that paperwork. That's all you got to remember.
It's true.
I like that.
All right, family. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you in 2 weeks or less. 1 week if you're doing the
1 or 2.
The lunchtime, and if you're coming back on a 6 p.m. one like this, that's in 2 weeks, and we'll be back just like that.
Sounds good. Thanks,
All
everybody.
right. Thank
Nice
you.
talking to you, Orlando.
You too. You too.
All right.
See you later,
Peace.
Mr. Melendez. Hope you got a couple deals done.
You know she did. Getting all the deals down there.
Got them all. Leave some for the rest of us.
Exactly. Can I get a deal?
Take it easy, guys.